Hey, everybody. We're here once again. Peter G.
Peter G. right there.
And Jimmy.
He's a celebrity.
So is Jimmy.
Really?
Yes.
Cool.
Anyway.
I want more money.
No, don't. It's not about the money.
Damn it.
Well, yeah, a little bit. Okay. Haven't seen you in a week. How you doing?
It's good to see you. It's been a good week. I had my son all week. We had a lot of fun. We went all over the place. I spent money I shouldn't. Mm-hmm. But I've been doing that for 7 years. I've been doing that because I want him to have,
you'd be doing it anyway because that's the way it's what you do.
Exactly.
But you're just thinking about it more now.
And it's funny because Jake's 10 now, and he still, out of the blue, comes up all crying and he said, "Dad, can I have a hug?"
Really?
Yeah. And he goes, "There's no chance that you and Mom can get back together."
He
and
says
it's
that
just,
shit?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and it breaks my heart.
Swear to God?
No, I'm faking it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. You've never told me anything like that.
Well, you don't. Listen.
We talk about a lot of stuff.
No, that's true. But anyway, the point being is he still does that on occasion. So I try to make his grades have gone way up. He's been a great kid always, but he's been it's so much that they have to go through. That you can't fix it. So I don't do as much as I used to do. I'll say that. I won't I'd like a bicycle. Sure, I'll buy you 3. Because I can't anymore. But yeah, it was a good week. We had a great time, and he loves to go to hotels.
What?
See? Yeah.
What do you mean?
He's got the same genes as us. He loves hotels.
I love hotels. I mean, good ones.
We're both musicians.
Good. But, if you travel well, it's very nice.
That's true. But yeah, it was a good day. What happened with you?
Not a whole lot. I worked a lot. It was my birthday the other day. And everybody's like wishing me happy birthday, and I worked. I had to work. It's like no big deal. I'm not worried about my birthday. I'm thankful every day I get up because of the hell we've gone through.
Well, I got this for you.
You did?
For your birthday.
Oh,
yeah.
That's so sweet.
I'm sorry I didn't know.
Son of a gun.
Happy birthday. Well,
Yeah.
Now you're at 47. Roll with it.
Yes.
There we go. Okay.
I don't look a day over.
But anyway, yeah.
Anyway.
Well, happy birthday. I'm sorry I missed that.
No, it's okay. I love my friends. Lots of people, with the Facebook and this and that. Great. Yeah. And I love my friends. I'm so thankful.
You got a lot of friends now.
I do. But I mean, every day, you got to think about it as we get older. Every day, I mean, the hell we've gone through. I'm surprised it hasn't put us in our grave.
That's true.
We have a lot to be thankful for because so many people. So, I mean, the fighting and, which is something I want to talk to you. I think you mentioned something about it today. But
oh, that letter?
Yeah. But,
I don't have to read it because it was a kind of a vicious one, and I understand why. There was a lot of angst in that letter.
But any day is a good day if you can get through it because you've got an opportunity for another one.
That's right.
And we tend to forget that because we're so wrapped up in all the just overboiling crap.
Of all the things, of the letters and texts and emails we get, that's a big topper because, I feel the same way. Everyone feels the same way. Why do we have to fight to have our time with our children? It's bad enough that it's already been destroyed, you know what I mean? And so that is, it's something.
I'm starting to get angry again.
Garage. For those of you who are new with us, we have something called the Angry Garage we go to.
Love the Angry Garage.
It's where Satan lives.
No.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's red.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got to let it out. And sometimes there's nobody to let it out to, so we just take it and put it on camera and blah, blah, there it is, good or bad. Yes. I mean, sometimes I regret it, but it is what it is. That's how I feel.
No, you have to get it out. You really do. And that's what this show is about.
I seem to have a lot more of them than you do lately, so what's up with that?
I'm just staying calm until everything explodes.
Right, staying calm. So, okay.
Pete knows that my situation, and I definitely want to tell everyone, all of our subscribers and all the people that are kind enough to see our show, right now I'm in a situation where I can't really talk a whole lot about it at this point. You know what's going on.
I do, and it sucks. It's sad.
But...
and it's not even about talking about it. It's sad that it actually exists.
This is sadly true. But hopefully, at some point, it'll come back, or it's something I have to deal with. And believe me, when we did this, we said we'd always be telling you guys everything, and I am. I'm not going to tell you, but I just can't do it at this particular time.
it's gotten that deep, unfortunately, which a lot of people are in the same situation.
Sadly,
Yes,
yeah. But that's why the fighting
and the fighting.
Yeah.
Now, so what were you going to talk about exactly? I'd like to pinpoint something today. Just let's talk about a certain. Yeah, just give me something to talk about, because otherwise I'll be all over the map, as you know.
Am I getting an award? Or do I get an award for this?
No awards. No. We're good.
Yeah. Well, we can do a few things, but this one letter that you mentioned, I wasn't able to. I didn't want to write, tell everyone exactly, because it really was pretty. And I don't blame him, but what he's trying to find out is how he can stop the fighting of getting his time. And this is something that happens to a lot of the divorced folks. And you guys know, we're not therapists. We're not, anybody like that. We're not.
We've just lived it.
Yeah, as everybody else.
Experience speaks loudly. I mean, who did I ever think I was going to know all this crap? Mandatory settlement conference and all these MSCs and these acronyms. I wish I never put foot in a courtroom.
Yeah.
But I ended up living in a courtroom, getting to know this. You're walking down the hallways because you're in and out of that place so much. You're starting to see the same faces. The security guards you're going through, they thought I was one of the friggin' attorneys.
Right.
And
what really makes me angry too, whether it's male or female.
I'm getting pissed again.
At some point,
I swear to God,
you'll be fine.
No, I'm serious. Anyway,
my situation's worse right now. So. But, even if it's male or female, it doesn't really matter. At some point, there's going to be some vicious thing that happens. Not always. And we've met a lot of people who said they've had a peaceful divorce. I don't know what that means.
I don't have met a lot, but there are a few that have amicable divorces.
I'm not sure. You see, I don't know what that means.
You can only hope, but it doesn't. The odds are probably 10%, and that's putting it, pretty... giving you a good advantage there, because how many people do we talk to, and all the letters and the callers and this and that? It's a bitch.
Yeah.
It's hell.
It is definitely. But this gentleman was very upset, and I've been there. You've been there.
So what's he want to know?
How does he handle it? How does he try to get it?
Is this after it's been decided, or going through it?
Let me look at it.
Is he going to court?
Because
there's so many variables of hell. But once again, it's all hell. Don't read it to me.
It seems that the ex has taken his kids, and it's very hard for him to get his time. No one answers.
Yeah.
I've had that.
Absolutely. Okay.
That's what he's trying to. We've all been through that, and he wants someone to talk to us about. I think so.
Well,
I think so.
You would. I don't know. You more pissed off than me, because that is
honestly. To be real honest, because of the situation, if I started releasing that, I probably shouldn't. But
most of this is all in my past, but it was the worst part of, I think, the divorce, besides the court stuff, because nothing pushes your button more than when the child is being played and held for ransom. Your child, I had court orders, and my ex would defy them and do what she wanted to do when she wanted to do it. I'd sit in parking lots, because it got to the point where I didn't even go to our own house to go pick up my daughter, because she didn't want me pulling in the driveway. She wanted me to go pull up on the curb. It's like, screw you.
No.
I was pulling up she was 4 years old.
I didn't know that.
So it's like, all right, you know what you can do? You can get off your big ass, and you can go and meet me at a grocery store parking lot. And the thing is, she wouldn't show up. She'd show up when it was convenient on holidays and with things like that. We'll talk about the holidays, but in general, I have sat in parking lots, always late.
Yeah.
And this is before you could get, because technology has changed so much, where you couldn't get emails to your phone up until about 2010, 11. That was starting to be like newer technology, and I was at she'd send me an email on the computer, and thinking I'm sitting at home just waiting for her to tell me she's going to be an hour late. I'm already out trying to do something, and then I'm waiting in that parking lot. She'd always be there when she's getting exchanged and picking her up on time when I'm giving it to her, right?
Right.
I mean, nothing's more frustrating than that, because I am telling you, my car looked like a fixture in that damn parking lot. I can't tell you the countless hours I've clocked sitting there on Christmas Eves and New Year's days and just regular days waiting for her. The beauty of it is, once, I don't know about you, but the exchange for school, when they'd go to school, the one thing is, during school season, she'd drop her off in the morning, and if it was my turn for visitation,
you got to pick her up.
I'd pick her up, and I know she'd be there. But I swear to God,
that's the sad part of it. Good, I can pick her up. I know that she'll be there.
Okay,
exactly.
Right.
That's the thing. Otherwise, it's 50-50, you know, And I've made mistakes. Everyone has. And when we started our divorce, and usually we go funny in the beginning, but this letter got us going, and a lot of people has. In the beginning, it was calm, kind of. We had a 50-50 deal, and everything was fine. And and like everyone else, I make a mistake here. I make a mistake here. When you're a single person, whether you're a man or a female, it doesn't matter. This is a new thing you have to learn, and these are new things that you have to learn how you can handle it. But after a while, when it gets to a point where you kind of feel that your children have been injected into things that make you harder, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say
because you're constantly pissed.
Well, but on the other side, you kind of feel like, wait a minute. My daughter never hated me like that. Where did that come from? And you don't know it. At a certain time, they're going to go through, because they're young girls. They're going to have their time where they're going to be rebellious and all those types of things. I get that, but the fact that my daughter and I loved each other so much, and will still forever. But right now, I can barely talk to her.
And you got to remember that there's all different ages of kids that get when parents get divorced. I used to think it was bad, for my daughter being so young, but we've really come to the decision that the older ones, when they get divorced at an older age, it's tough because their minds are that much more developed. We're lucky we got 50-50. It doesn't happen that way for most men. Yeah. And again, women, there's great women out there, but there's bad women out there too that leave the kids and go run off with some guy. So it's 50. We're bipartisan. We don't side with the dad. We side with people who love their kids, period, male or female.
Well, that's a good point.
And
there's love on both sides. It's just when it gets worse and worse, it's always because of us, not the kids. It's just. But in any event, as I said, I don't really want to go too far with that in particular because of what's happening here, and I hope that we can have peace and thing, because that's the best thing that we can do for. But like I said before, when Jake has those kind of cries, and on the other side right now, my daughter is really angry at me, and there's reasons for it. There's some things on there. She wrote a letter, and it broke my heart 100 times. But I had to look at a couple things. A lot of it is like, whoa, where is that coming from?
Well, again, they get in their ears.
But there was a couple that they had, and to the point where anything you make one little mistake kind of thing on there, then that becomes a huge problem. And I hate you because of this. Yeah. And, so...
It's different ages and the hormones. Everybody keeps telling me, and she's right there, that the hormone starting to kick in, it doesn't help the situation. I want to know... from your end, how much of a struggle you're negotiating your children's because I know what I went through, and I don't even know if we have enough time.
Like I was saying in the beginning, it was pretty decent. I still was very angry. I mean, I had lost 14 years of work. We were going to retire at 54. Bought that big, huge, house up on the hill in Simi Valley, and then when everything was just all of a sudden blown up, that's hard to handle. Right? You're pretty much angry at everybody.
Everything's
except the
going
kids.
down in flames.
I was angry at myself. My ex. I was, a lot of things were done in ways that I thought were really lousy. But as time went on, we tried to, just for a long time, we had a 50-50 deal. We still do. Where I would have a week of my son, and then the next week my daughter, and then I would have no one, because then both of them would be together with mom, and then the last week, both kids would be with me, so that the kids would be with each other at least 50.
And you have a little time to yourself 1 week out of the...
I thought that would be great. Yeah. I really did. I thought it was really cool.
Go out or do something. No?
Once in a while, when you can pick up a gig or something around this area, that makes it great. Just playing, is good. Yeah. But really, most of the time, sometimes I'd just be sitting around waiting. Okay, is it Thursday? Ooh, 2 more days. I get to see the kids.
Yeah, I know. You want to see them.
Yeah, so that's the way we're doing it. Unfortunately, though, as we went farther... and things had changed. More people came into the situation at my ex's house. Actually, the guy that she had hooked up with, actually turned out to be a really good guy. I was very lucky.
But I remember when you first were talking about this many years ago, you were pretty upset.
Well, I was very upset, obviously, and
you didn't know who he was or why. You knew who he was, but you didn't know what he was about.
Yeah, I knew he was having sex with my wife when
you just wanted to make sure he was going to be good to your kids.
That was the thing.
I get it.
And we went to a bar and we sat down and talked and had a really good conversation. We were there for an hour and a half, watched a football game.
Really?
And I liked him that way. And I said, look, you know what will happen if my sons ever get yelled at, any problems. And he said, I understand. He had a son too. So he didn't get to see his son for a long time either. He had a same kind of thing, same problem.
Shocking.
Yeah, and from that point on, it was fine. It was really cool. The guy was nice. He worked. He really helped my ex-wife, who had some health problems, which is sad. But the bottom line was it was going okay. We were moving along. It wasn't so bad. And like I said, but then this little period came along, and my daughter became a lot different than she was before. And I'm not like we say, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a witch doctor, I'm not any of those things. I just know that things had changed a lot towards that. I want to live with Mom's house now. And that just
Did you ask why?
Of course.
The answer was?
Well, there's a bunch of things, like I said before, just earlier. I don't want to
I get it.
But it's about it's about being injected by some things. It's part of the being that age and being dumb things that I probably did that I didn't pay. But I've never ever done anything I couldn't do that I thought would be good for my kids. That's it. I don't let them just do whatever they want. That was a big part of it in the beginning.
It's called parenting.
Well, it is, but sometimes then you become the bad guy.
That's right.
And that's where I kind of, in a lot of ways.
If things need be, you have to be the parent.
That's right. And then, like my situation, I thought, I haven't seen my daughter in almost 4 months. I've seen her twice.
I don't get it.
Well, and I don't blame anybody to say that.
But you're not. I'm sure.
But once again, whether I'm wrong or whether my ex is wrong, or it's just a soup of all of us. It doesn't matter. The point is that I don't get any support. Let's put it that way.
That's what I mean. She should be supporting the situation for balance.
That would be nice.
Yeah, exactly.
And I understand that she's angry about certain things. I'm sure she sees things in a way, but really,
regardless,
once again, the bottom line of it is that it's not good for her. It's not good for Jake. It's not good for the family. And whether or not whether I hate her or whether she hates me, we're still a family. We don't have a chance. We don't have any. There's no way to change that. If you think you can, you can't. You can't. And so now are we going to spend more money? I have a great attorney, as you know. But the other thing is, and my attorney told me, he said, I've seen a lot of this where, the child now starts, kind of hard to say this in a way, but that she changes because all of a sudden, Dad does this, Dad does that. I was stupid and did that before too, because I was angry and dumb and stupid. That was a long time ago. But I never tried to, and would never hurt my daughter, would never hurt my child. But even my ex and I fighting is killing them too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I got to figure out, I can't just sit here for 4 months and not be able to see my daughter. And my attorney, our attorney, suggested that I should go up there because my 50-50 hadn't been used in almost 2.5 months. And why don't you just go in there? And now there's a new guy, and he wanted to beat me up at a baseball game.
We're on guy number 3, counting you now, right?
Yes.
In
7 years. In 7 years, there's been 3 men.
The guy you were just talking about that you had beers with is not the guy you're getting ready to tell me about.
No, that's the guy. That number 2 is the guy.
So she's divorced or what? Or
no,
broke up? Or?
No, she dropped him. I forgot where it was last year. It was in 2015. Okay. I think it was August, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, he was
Wonderful.
he was having some beers and she didn't like it. I
Okay.
guess, and which is and what's ironic, we're really good friends now. He's a drummer too. He's a pretty good one. They're going into Europe to do a tour the other day, in a little bit, and he's so nice that because I haven't been able to get good quality health insurance. He has a job. It's not a great job, I assume, but it has good benefits. And he picked up my son, my daughter, because his benefits were much better. In fact, I didn't have any, and I felt bad about it. But I thought, well, I got to let him do that because the best that we can get to them. I don't care how we get there. So he had been doing that, and then after the divorce, she wanted a divorce, got rid of him, and then the other guy came right in.
Where did this guy come from?
Number 3.
She just mysteriously appeared?
Well, no, she was. They knew each other in Simi Valley. They were probably friends in high school, and they, like she said, I always my real love, and I'm kind of like, well, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you.
My other real love.
Well, wouldn't it be nice though if you'd have told me?
Well,
and
the real
Joe
real
and the other
love.
guy, so we
Please
wouldn't have
stand up.
Yeah. But anyway, the point being is like my attorney said, you should just go over there, and a policeman will come with you. And I'm like, what? But I guess that's true. They come.
It's called keeping the peace.
I guess so. I didn't know that.
They know me by name.
So I thought she said, just do that, and she'll scream and holler, and then she'll slowly understand, what's happening.
Business, yeah.
But if I was to do that, I know it would crush her. It would crush my daughter.
It doesn't look good, man. A cop car's pulling up in front of your house. Yeah. I gotta tell you, that is
And I have that right. I have that. I could crush the whole thing.
Do.
I really could. But I know that I've made mistakes. I know that things like that, and I don't want Megan to have to think. And what if she hates me more?
Yeah, it's gonna go into that whole parent alienation thing that we've talked about.
I can imagine that certain conversations will be coming around, and I don't want to deal with that. So anyway, it's tough. You have to make a decision, but I can't do this for much longer. I mean, it's crazy.
But it looks to me like, okay, but you guys started off pretty decent, yeah. And now you're fighting because the kids are kind of almost running the show in a way.
Well, Jake isn't.
No, but when's Jake get to see his mom?
Wow. I wasn't going to do all this.
Okay.
Okay. But the reason being is because, to be honest, she hardly ever calls to talk to her.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, what kind of shit is that?
I don't know.
I mean,
I've talked on many times, and I can't talk to her on the phone.
See, I start getting pissed off even for you.
I can't talk to her, and we have to text, and the text will come maybe 2 days later, and I'm furious about it. Yeah. I mean, obviously, but I want to stay focused on knowing that when things do get better, I want to make sure that with the mistakes that I may have made, I got to get taken care of. But But
your son needs a mother, and your daughter needs a father.
That's
and
right.
They don't know it. They're kids.
That's right.
They're kids.
That's right. And Jake is, because, and I call and I said, you got to call and talk to Jake. And one of my texts actually said, well, if you want to do. I wouldn't want to say anything unless I got it right, but it was basically, do you want to make a trade? I'm okay with that.
Okay.
But I think what she was trying to say, I'm trying to go the good way. I think what she was saying is that I would have one of the children, okay, but it's like they're slaves in a way, It's
collect them, trade them with your friends.
Yeah.
But again, you're fighting now in different levels. I sounded from the letter that you read to me earlier before we started. But the part we don't want to talk about that. He's starting to go through hell, and the fight is right off the bat, out the gate, kind of like the way, unfortunately, mine went, and it's going to court.
Yeah. Yeah, well, if it does, it does.
And it's brutal battles, and it costs a lot of money, and it's hell. And again, if you have a woman or a man that was as stubborn as mine, it's 50-50. It should be the norm. And if you can't, then voluntarily say I can't, because I have to do this. But we all have to work. We all have to do things. They're your children. Your children deserve your time, and if not, then you're a douchebag, and then you don't belong in the picture anyway.
This is part of the process, not always. In fact, I would hope hardly ever. But I just want to get one thing across, too, because I forgot the gentleman who called Larry. Larry, I know you're angry. I know you're really angry. I know you should. We all should be.
We're all pissed.
We should all be on both sides. The whole thing is a disaster. But the fact of the matter is, yes, it does. But try to stay calm as you can. Believe me, I was very angry in the beginning, and he's laughing.
Yeah, I'm laughing on the. I'm getting angry on the inside. I'm laughing.
Don't cars roll off the hill all the time?
You had long, blonde, flowing hair before this divorce.
That's true. Wish that was true.
They thought it was, what was that guy's name? Fabio. Now you're Flabio.
You're flowing in the air. What's happened at this point is happened. No one hasn't made mistakes, hasn't done things wrong. But when you know that you're right, you fight, and you have to. And you absolutely have to, but you have to do it in a way that doesn't hurt the kids themselves. And that's a big problem. It's a big problem.
Real big problem.
And I would wish that I got a phone call and say, hey, look, I'm pissed about this. I'm pissed at that, pissed at that. Or even make a deal or whatever, just so that, you don't have to go to the attorney, and you never know who's going to win, whatever. No one's going to win, period. So the bottom line of it is just try to be as good as you can possibly be. I learned that. It took me years to figure that out.
But you have to mean it too. You're not going to just be the guy that's going to, or the woman that's going to go and fight, and get it, and then start slacking off, because there's a huge responsibility behind it.
Well, I don't think that's a situation. But
you know how it is.
No,
I
know what you're saying.
What they call it, Disney. The one guy, Chris, that's on the one of our guests.
Yeah.
He was called the Disneyland Dad.
I still like that, though. That's a good name.
But the thing was, he wasn't. It's just that he has a better schedule, so he does things at his convenience, which is lucky. I can't.
Yeah. Well, as long as he's being a good dad, it doesn't really matter.
But the anger, and they go, again, mine was not like that.
Well, anyway, I want to end that up just saying that, it'd be very easy, coming into the room, give me my kids and stuff like, and believe me, every single man, every single woman probably at some point thinks about that. Like I said before, going in, having a cop behind you, which is disgusting. But at the end of the day, the kids are getting hurt more,
They see all that stuff.
And at the same time, no, you do have to fight for yourself. You really do. And I definitely, if you ever want to send another letter or text, we could bounce back and forth. I'd be more than happy to do that. I just, I don't even know what's happening yet. So that's how it is. I wish it wasn't. But in one way or another, though, it will make me a better man, because I'm going to make sure that it does,
I get it.
And I'm done.
Totally get it. He's done.
Senator, I'm done.
I wish I was done.
Yeah.
It just keeps going and going and going. I mean, in different aspects of an ass ache. But mine started off right off the bat because we had to go to court, because my ex got an attorney, and she's got a temper that it doesn't matter. She'll cut her nose off to spite her face. It's just the way it is. Now, again, I married her, loved her, good side to her. I always support things, but when you're angry and things like this happen, the gloves are off. I had to get an attorney just to defend myself, because I've never been, I've never even been married before. I was 43 years old when I finally got married.
Me too.
Yeah.
43.
Well, just 43.
Oh, no. 42.
Whatever. You know what I mean?
We
were busy. I was busy enjoying my life. It was okay. So it didn't matter to me. But the thing is that I had to I didn't want to go up unarmed. Yeah. So all of a sudden the money starts pouring into these lawyers, and in all fairness, even though our attorney is a pit bull, all he was doing was just, we were defending ourselves, because she kept throwing accusation after accusation. The first thing they do when they get you in court is they don't want you in court, and they say you're going to go into a room with a mediator, and it's called mandatory mediation, whatever, MSC conference. I walk into this room, and there's a woman sitting there. And I know we're getting ready to talk about all this stuff. I thought I was a goner, because, in your mind as a man, you think it's very woman-sided when it comes to the children. I was scared. Sweating scared. When you're pacing the floors, waiting to go in, there's people in a courtroom. They're standing there. Everybody's sitting behind you. There's lawyer after lawyer and people there. You're airing out your dirty laundry. How much more embarrassing can that crap be? Yeah. Talking about this crap. I didn't want to be there. Sitting in front of that woman, And thank God I held myself together because I tend to start, my voice gets going higher. I talk louder. I didn't want to interject. I kept myself together. She was able to speak first, and I shut my mouth and let her just do whatever she wanted to do. And the gods were on my side that day. I mean, this is one of the best. I've had a couple of good days in court because the one thing my attorney said is when you go into court, you never really know what's going to happen. And boy, was he right. Because he may be the attorney, but the judge is the judge, and whether you think he's right or wrong, when he says something, that's it. It's over. Good luck. So you got to hold yourself. I screwed up a few times in court, but this time I sat there, and then when it was my turn to talk, I talked, and she kept getting uppity and interjecting and just jumping on me, and the woman kept telling her to stop, and she just saw right through her because she was having a bad day. And, because it's all bullshit. It just was all bullshit. By the end of the hour that we sat there, she says, we're going to take a break. I'm going to come back. And we come back. She gave me 50-50. And I'm telling you, if looks could kill, if she could have killed me, she would have killed me right then and there because she just thought that was outrageous, which it really shouldn't be. If you're a parent and that's your child and there's a mother and father that love that child, that's the best thing you could do for them. But I was so scared I wasn't going to get it. And, oh, my God, I saw that woman in the parking lot after we got out of there. And I thanked her as I rolled down my window. And I said, I don't know who you are, but I just want to thank you for being real. And that's it. Because she can't be, it was a fluke that I saw her, but she can't take my side or her side. And the thing is, this started the war. I was awarded 50-50. My ex wasn't having it. So here comes the battle. She started trying to find every way to get me into court to prove I was some bad guy. She had me followed by private investigators. Because I got to tell you, when I left the house, I didn't know what to do with myself. I was bored as hell. I had no child. I had no friends. We lived 40 miles out from where I used to live in the valley and things like that, moved to see me out here. Yeah. And I found myself going to a restaurant and bar or whatever you want to call it, watching the NBA playoffs. And you know me. Now, I like basketball more than football, and I can watch it when I'm there watching it, but I'm not going to go out of my way to do that. I was bored. So I'm having a few beers, and I'm watching that to kill some time because time started dragging immensely. And she's having me followed. And she's on Father's Day, my first Father's Day with my daughter. I took her to church for the first time by myself and then had dinner out in Ventura with another friend of mine who's got his 2 little girls, the same thing he's going through. And shortly after they left, I hung out a little bit longer, and I went to this one little restaurant where a band was playing, and I ordered a non-alcoholic beer. It was like an NA, Coors. Yeah. Looks just like a beer, though. She had me followed. Minutes later, cops are coming up. My daughter, because I wanted my daughter to hear a band because I'm trying to teach her how to clap. She's only 3, but I'm trying to make sure she got right.
The cops came to
I'm standing there, and all of a sudden there's 2 patrol officers walking up, and they're looking around. And my gut just told me, I go, oh, my God, they're coming here for me. And son of a bitch, one cop walks up to, and I said, are you looking for me? I knew it. I just friggin' knew it. You could feel it. And I'm in a suit now. I'm in a suit because I went to church, and I'm not looking like some slob.
Wow.
And my dog, and he goes, are you Peter? And I said, yeah, I am. He goes, I go, what's going on? He goes, well, we got a report, and the other cop, his sergeant, was inside. We were standing outside on the harbor. And he says, I go, what's going on? I go, my wife sent you, didn't she? He goes, kinda. And he goes, you going through a divorce? And I said, yeah. And he goes, got it. And he says, I said, you here? What are you here for? He says, well, we had a report that you're giving your daughter alcohol.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, alcohol?
Oh, that's where she was coming from. Yeah, that's why they were coming.
Because these stupid asshole, people that don't know any better, they're following me, or and they got her all riled up. So they had the court orders in their hand because, see, when we went to war, all of a sudden it's like, well, you can't do this, and she's like, well, you can't be drinking around our daughter. Not that I was any kind of a drinker, but I got to tell you, during the course prior to the divorce, I was tending to come home at night because I'm completely ignored by her whole family. Nobody talks to you. It kind of gets to you.
Yeah, I know.
And I was taking the edge off a little bit, but I've never been an alcoholic or a drunk. I never will be. But I was, trying to just cut the edge because your mind starts
Have
thinking.
a couple beers at home or
Yeah.
something, you know. But
You tend to want to.
that's why I was going to say, you know, you got to be kidding me. They're going to take you away because you had a couple
Father's Day,
beers.
dude. Father's Day.
But it wasn't about you having the beers.
No, and it wasn't. And so I showed him. Then I said, I thought you can tell me because I'm drinking this non-alcoholic. He goes, no, I didn't even know you were.
Yeah.
And it was just such bullshit.
But she was saying that you were giving your daughter
all the more. So here's what I had to go do. So then they finally leave. But my little girl, thank God she was so small. She's kind of forgotten that stuff. But the people, you know, the embarrassment of the people. And he goes, listen, he goes, we just had to come out here. And but they had the court orders. She came all the way out and they had the written court orders in their hands saying that specifically.
Was she with the police?
I didn't see her.
Oh.
But somebody gave them the papers. But
that's just anger.
Right.
You know, that's what it is. It's just anger about.
Because
you know what it is too. A lot of times,
it is.
I'm
anger.
once again not a therapist, but I guarantee you, I'm right about this. When you see stuff like that, it's not about the kids. It's not about. It's about the anger of
absolutely.
The anger of maybe I made a mistake.
She's,
maybe I shouldn't have done this.
She's
maybe
trying
to
find a reason to get more custody.
More
End of story.
More than 50-50?
You know, and here's the thing: it's not that she wants full custody, but in her, I think a lot of women, and they say, "I can't imagine being without my child." That they feel that nurturing, like they should take care of them. But the bottom line is, I'm a good daddy. I mean, I love that child.
You are a good dad.
And I go out of my way. I was able to take that baby as an infant across the country on my own, but all of a sudden, I can't have her while we're in town.
Well, that's
just,
right there. You got the point. That, it's not about that.
So the thing was that this all led to courts, and more courts, and I ended up having to subpoena the cop and just completely. I mean, I'm annihilating them one at a time. She's saying he's this. We go to court. I'm not this. We go to court again. He's that. I'm not that. Finally, after 2.5 years of fighting in court and tens of thousands of dollars, I go to the judge. I finally had to let my lawyer go. I couldn't afford him anymore.
I haven't paid him either.
Yeah, I'll be paying him until I'm 85.
Me too.
I mean, I'm serious, you know.
I know.
And so finally I said, Your Honor, the good thing about representing yourself is you can actually speak, and I know more about me than my attorney will ever know. And she couldn't talk because she still had an attorney. I said, when is this going to stop? She has drugged me into this court time after time, month after month, week after week, and have proven nothing and has made us go broke. When is this going to end? Because, the judges and the lawyers, they all have a buddy system too.
Right.
So she finally starts running out of money, and I'm sure they went in the back and go, it's time to wrap this up. Because there's no more money. He already let go of his attorney. We need to finish this up.
So now it's kind of...
Well, I never lost 50-50. I was given it. I didn't have to fight for it. I had to fight to keep it.
Yeah, well...
But there's a lot of poor souls out there that don't have that. They got 20-80, 70-30.
Well, how many of letters have we gotten from guys that are telling us, well, the woman always gets that's not true.
Not true.
It's not true at all.
And again, if there's some guys, like my ex had 2 children previously, and he was not a good father. I mean, he is now that they're all grown up. He is a good guy, to hang out with,
right.
But he was too busy playing golf and getting drunk with his buddies. I remember on Father's Day when they were young, they're waiting all day for them to go see their father. They're waiting all day. Never showed up.
Yeah, I don't
Never
understand.
showed up. It's like, you douchebag. And that's why I hated the guy. We're fighting. I'm killing ourselves and losing hair trying to be a father to these kids and a mother. The mother's the same thing. It's hard to be a single parent.
It is.
It's
beyond that. It's almost impossible.
My days off are just our kids. That's it.
Well, you know what? First of all, I would like to thank Larry in his letter because now we
get me all riled up. Yeah,
we're really angry.
Yeah,
we should have been in the angry garage.
I'm sweating. I am freaking sweating.
But as I get older, I realize we'll get through it.
And you're getting older.
I'm getting older.
So am I.
And and realize there's the anger part is in you. You can keep it in there, but you can't use it in any other way. So we hope. Please call us again. Send another letter because I think I have the feeling that this is a brand new divorce from you. Because
lucky you.
Actually, can we use your letter? Because we'd like to send it to everybody else.
No,
it's pretty nasty.
He can post it if he wants to post it. He can. I mean, All right. Anything else you got?
Not much. No, not really. With all this anger stuff you had going.
I know, and I need to stop because it takes me another few days before I can get back to normal.
Well, we want to thank you as always. It's always amazing to us that you guys follow us, and we can't thank you enough.
Yes, we do.
And while we're not therapists, and we're just single dads that are going through too. We hope we helped you a little bit. Yeah, and remember, you
are a good or great We're never gonna get this.
Don't ever watch
Don't
this
ever
again.
do this.
Don't ever.
You know what?
Don't waste your time. We can't even get this.
Screw it. We love you guys. Peace out. You're watching the Jim and Peter Show. See you next time.
Take care.